Hey everybody, this is Sensei Mike at Kaizen Academy of Martial Arts. Today we are coming at you with Cycle 3 for the Orange, Green, and Purple Belt class. We are reviewing our form YODAN along with all the other basic curriculum that you're going to be doing over the next couple weeks. So with that said, hopefully you guys are ready, stretched out, warmed up, ready to go. Let's follow along over some of the basic techniques first before we get to our kata. Hey everybody, this is Sensei Mike at Kaizen Academy of Martial Arts. Today we are coming at you with Cycle 3 for the Orange, Green, and Purple Belt class. We are reviewing our form YODAN along with all the other basic curriculum that you're going to be doing over the next couple weeks. So with that said, hopefully you guys are ready, stretched out, warmed up, ready to go. Let's follow along over some of the basic techniques first before we get to our kata. Okay, team, so the first thing that we're going to be reviewing in classes is our sidekicks. Now, if you're a green or purple belt, you probably did this last cycle, but for all of you brand new orange belts, this is the first time you're going over our new technique, the sidekick. Now, whether you've learned it before or this is brand new to you, it's always good to review that sidekick because there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's one of those basic kicks where you got to get it right because it's not just great for forms and for performance aspects of karate, but it's also a really strong self-defense tool. So let's go over our sidekick. Now, when you're performing a basic sidekick, we'll start in our guarding stance, and we will be using our front leg to throw our sidekick. There is a back leg sidekick that we do later on at a higher rank, but for right now, all of our sidekicks are done with our lead leg, our front leg. So my right leg here is in front of me, my guards are up. Now, unlike other kicks where I'm bending and folding my leg to get my foot pulled back to throw that kick, I'm actually going to pull my knee backwards and draw my entire front leg away from the target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my front leg, that knee comes up across the belly. I'm going to lift my heel up as high as I can to match the knee, keeping my foot turned sideways. Now what's going to assist my leg turning sideways is pivoting downstairs. I need to make sure my hips are as sideways as possible so that I can pull the leg back to the correct position. So I take that front leg, I'm going to chamber the knee back across my belly, lifting my heel up and pivoting to get into the chambered position for my sidekick, making sure my shoulder and my hip stay sideways. I don't want to let this knee coming across turn my body too much because then I won't be facing my target or my bad guy. So from here, front leg comes up, chamber, and I pivot downstairs to lift that knee up and point the heel right where I'm going to be delivering the kick. From that position, it's like a bow and arrow. Once I pull back, now I can release and shoot that arrow forward. So my heel is the arrowhead. I pull back, get the heel up, I'm in my pivot position. Now the kick has to go straight out in front of me. Toes stay sideways. I drive with the heel before I pull the knee back, and I drop it down. Again, I'm taking my front leg. I'm chambering back as I pivot downstairs. I get that heel up, keeping the shoulder forward. Driving the heel out in front, bringing that chamber all the way back in before I put it down. Now this is a locking kick. It stomps out and it locks into position. Kind of like if you were throwing a punch that locked in front of you, same thing with your side kick. So from the side, let me show you. I pick my front knee up, scoot back so you can see the pivot. I pick that front leg up. I'm going to chamber across my belly as I pivot, locking the heel out, bringing that knee back in, and dropping it down. One more time, front knee comes back across the belly, lift the heel up and pivot, side kick out, back, and down. Make sure you review the side kick on both legs. Now the second type of side kick you're going to learn is a side kick we move into the target and we create a little bit more momentum to build some power, and that is a crossing side kick. Now when you do your crossing side kick, you're still kicking with the front leg, but now the back leg will cross behind the other foot. When that back foot crosses behind, I point the heel and I'm up on the ball of my foot here. All right. One more time. I cross behind my lead leg, keeping my shoulder and my hip forward. This now becomes the pivot. That's why my heel is pointing forward. I put that foot down as I chamber the front leg up to lock the side kick. One time from the side here, I cross behind to get my momentum moving into the target, chambering up, and locking the side kick out. All right, so the next thing that we're going to work on is our upper body technique, starting with the X block. Now an X block is just two hands chambering back, like I'm about to throw punches, except I'm going to shoot my arms down in front of me for a low X. I'm going to cross one over the top, and I'm going to lock it here. Now I got to keep some space in there. I want to make sure that my hands are not together, because then I'm going to get kicked in the fingers. I want to open them up to make sure I have space for that kick to land on the forearms. So again, I'm chambering back here, and I'm locking the X block down in front of me. Now there is a high X block where I bring the hands upwards in the same position, but don't worry about that one just yet. We'll work on that later. Another upper body technique that we're going to be learning is called a temple chop. Now our temple chop will start in a front stance. So let's say I have the left leg in front. Okay? My right hand, my back arm is the one that's going to be delivering a chop. Now it's like the inward hammer fist that we already know how to do, but instead of keeping my hand closed, I'm opening up to chop underneath the pinky there, okay, with that meaty part of the hand. Now I'm also going to be covering my own head, my own temple, protecting myself with an open hand high block that you've learned from Shodan. As the backhand comes up from the ear and chopping out, striking to the opponent's temple. Remember, your temple is right above the eye, so when you're doing this strike, don't go down here. I want you to aim just like if they were your height. I bring the front hand up to block, backhand comes from the ear as I chop out temple height. So one more time, my hands come across, front hand blocks, and the backhand chops out. If I was to switch and I have my right side in front, now my front hand, my right hand, will be doing the block. Left hand comes from the ear to chop out, bringing it up and locking it out all at once. That is the temple chop. One more strike that you're going to be learning with the upper body is an elbow smash. When we do our elbow smash, again, I'm going to start in my front stance. So, left leg is in front of me. I'm going to take my front arm. I'm reaching out to grab the opponent's head. That means I'm going to be smashing with the back elbow. I bring my hand up and I want to turn my pinky facing outwards. I don't want to have my thumb up. I want to have the pinky and knuckle sideways like I'm doing a punch, and glue it to my shoulder here. Make your chicken wing. Now, my elbow comes in, and I smash, bringing the front arm in as the back arm comes out to meet it halfway, and I should lock that elbow in front of me. From the side, I reach with the front, elbow comes up, and I don't come all the way across. I also don't pull the hand back too far. I meet it so that my smash is out in front of me. If I was doing the same thing with my right leg in front, remember the front hand, so right hand will be grabbing, left hand comes up, bring it in, and smash in the middle. 1, 2. Now there's a few other new blocks and strikes that you might see in the form YODAN. Nothing that's too crazy that we'll have to go over in class before we learn the form. You'll be able to walk through the form and pick it up pretty quick. So with that said, let's take a minute to go over our form YODAN. Here we go, everybody. We start off in that attention stance. My feet come apart as I bow. I step that left foot out to position. Kata YODAN. Now the first thing I'm going to do is take my left leg. I'm going to step off to the side into a back stance. As I do that, I'm going to do a covered chamber. For any orange belts, brand new, that's where I chamber my back arm, and the other hand holds on top. So it's always to the back side. So if my back stance is pointing this way, I always cover chamber behind me, like I'm hiding my hands. Now I'm going to be doing an open-handed square block where I pop my hands open. I bring my arms up so the front arm is out like a shudo block, and the back arm does an open-handed high block. Now, the difference between just throwing it out there and what we do in YODAN is we perform it in a way called sanshin. And that means with strong, tense force, like somebody's pulling your arms back and you squeezing your muscles the entire time. So from my cover, I open, sanshin comes up, strong, and I lock it at the end. I'm going to pivot my stance as I pull my cover to the other side. And now I do the same motion. Open the hands up, sanshin style comes up, strong, and lock it off to the side. My left foot comes in as I chamber my hands, stepping the left foot forward into a front stance, X block down low. I'm going to step my right foot forward into a front stance, and roll the hands into a reinforced inner block. Now from here, my left foot slides together. I pull those hands back on the right side to a cover. And since they're on the right side, that means I focus to the left. Now I'm going to be throwing that side kick. So I chamber my leg back as I pivot, locking the kick out. I turn my body, reaching out with the front arm, landing into my stance, and delivering a right elbow smash. Now from here, I do the same thing on the other side. My right side comes back. I cover on the left. Right leg, side kicks out, turning my body and landing as I grab into a smash with the left elbow. Make sure you're in a good front stance facing towards the side so you can pivot and end up in a good stance facing forward. I pivot my body, front hand comes up to block as I deliver the temple chop. In one motion. Now I take my right leg, throwing a thrust front kick, pushing. I'm going to hop out, right foot, left foot lands on the ball behind, making sure my hips and everything stay forward as I throw my final hammer fist to the front. And this is your first yell, Hiya. Now I'm going to twist. Let's go back so you can see my feet. I'm going to twist out, staying on the ball of that left foot. I face towards the corner here, pulling the chamber back in a cat stance. That's where I'm on the toes of the front foot. Facing here, I step out into a back stance. Arms circle up, Sanchin style, double outer blocks. My guards come up, again, a thrust front kick. I aim with the opposite arm. So I kick with my right, I aim with the left, landing, front punch, back punch to the corner. My right side pulls back into a cat stance as I pull the hands in. Out to a back stance to the corner, circling, Sanchin double outer blocks. Left foot now, push, aim with the arm, front punch, back punch. Get a little space here. Left foot is in front of me in a front stance facing the corner. I'm going to adjust it straight back to a back stance. Bring the arms from behind me into a reinforced inner block, left. I step forward with the right, another reinforced, left, my third reinforced block. My left foot adjusts over to a front stance. I grab the bad guy by their head. My right knee comes up. I smash a knee. So I'm here, smashing. I'm going to pivot into a low stomping side kick and landing back into a shudo block. I step through with the right side, one more shudo block before my left foot steps out to position and I bow. That is our Cycle 3 YODAN curriculum for the orange, green, and purple belts. Make sure you guys get to class so that you can review all your techniques with your instructor so they can teach you the proper way to do all the moves, and then go home and use this video to practice and run through anything that you might have forgotten or need just a little bit of extra help remembering. This is Sensei Mike saying we will see you guys in class. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so that you guys get notified whenever there's a new video posted and you can continue training at home with us.